Phil. MLS.
Yeah.
MLS in general.
Yeah. The MLS.
The MLS, yeah. Just to annoy Americans that don't like the word they put in front of it. It's for us, from this side of the pond and all that, this is a league that is growing.
Yes.
We feel it's growing, and the interest is picking up in this country. I mean, just for instance, Sky Sports has actually got 4 Major League Soccer live matches this weekend. There's 3 on. This is the Sunday when we call.
I watched the New York game over here Friday night.
Exactly, on the street.
Good coverage, by the way, as well.
It's getting better.
Yeah.
It was. They should have had me and Ped doing it. I'll be honest, they still should have me and Ped doing it. But it's getting better. It's getting better. So we can feel that there's definitely a growth. I think obviously it helps that Sky have lost a bit of their football to other channels, but that's fantastic because that means that they put more resources into it. Are you feeling it growing in the United States?
Yeah, absolutely, and not only in Orlando, but if you look at it across the league and across the country, the game is, it's not now a question of will the game take a foothold, will the game take off in America. The question now is how big will the game become. The question has changed. I mean, when I started the club 8 years ago, I spent a lot of time going out speaking to people, making presentations, talking about the future of the game in the country.
Very unprofessional here. Just got some questions for you.
All right, okay. All right.
Sorry, carry on.
So, we talk. I would spend a lot of time talking to people about the game and really selling them on the fact that football was a good game and come and follow it, come and take in the game. That has so changed, Baz, that today the question now is like, how big can it be? Can it take over? Can it take the place of baseball? Can it be one of the big 4? Can it do this? Can it do? How big's the TV? The next TV deal going to be? Yeah. So there's an acceptance, I think, within the country that the game is not only here to stay, but it's doing very, very, very well. You've seen that with sponsors coming into the game. You've seen that with the broadcast deal we've done. I think you'll see big time with the next broadcast deal we're doing in 5-6 years' time. We've got the biggest sports marketplace in the world and the biggest sport. And that's a very, very dynamic and a very exciting combination when you put them together. So, I think the league's just going to go from strength to strength.
I mean, you've seen with Chattanooga in that, I think, 19,000 or something like that. I've seen other
third,
clubs.
4th division championship games.
Exactly, there's clubs popping up.
Look at the USL now. What is it? 29 teams, I think, in USL this year. And new marketplaces coming in all the time. Cincinnati, you've got Louisville, you've got strong marketplaces. That are, fans are turning up in their thousands to watch 2nd, 3rd division soccer, and loving it, by the way, and enjoying it, getting into the game. And you've been to a game, I know, and I've said this forever. If you take an English fan and you blindfold them and you drop them into our stadium on a game day, they wouldn't know whether they're in Italy or Argentina or Germany or England. They'd be in Orlando, Florida.
They know they're not in England because the
atmosphere. The sunshine.
A, the sunshine, and B, I've said it before. I've said it the whole way through last season on the MLS show. That atmosphere was fantastic, like nothing I've ever seen. And the game was 0-0. So imagine if it would have been a 0. Yeah. MLS has goals every single week. Loads. I go and it ended 0-0.
0-0. Yeah.
But
only 0-0 draw the whole season.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was,
but it took me down to the wall and things like that. It's just, I've never seen anything like it. Never known anything like it. For a game that, let's be honest, but that night wasn't the greatest game. I think we just played in Toronto a couple of days before.
It was pretty flat. Yeah.
It was a little bit flat, but that end wasn't flat. They just bounced in that heat. It was just incredible. And this is what I say to a lot of people. A lot of my friends and family who are going over there just go to the game, and it's incredible. And the whole family's going. It's not just the lads who like going to matches. The whole families are going. This is incredible.
We go back. I mean, I've said it for a couple of years now. We have amongst, if not the best fans in MLS, and I'm deadly serious about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said it for years. We have the best fans in the country, and I think now we're proving it. People all the time are coming to us. You get emails all the time. You get calls. People who've been for the first time, even visiting officials like the referees or visiting officials from different clubs. What an atmosphere! What a fantastic! How have you got this? Where's this come from? And it's down to our fans, you know. My hat's off to the wall, to the Ruckus and the ILF, and the guys who stand up, and the girls who stand up there, you know, day in and day out and do that for 90 minutes. And the energy, the passion, the excitement they bring, it's tremendous.
I'll be bounced on those little stages in that heat. I had to go for about 2 minutes. That was it. I was done. I was literally done. Obviously, Phil is saying Orlando City were the best fans, in his opinion, just before any Portland Timbers, Seattle fans, and everybody else starts giving it down.
And you know, and that, to be fair to Portland and Seattle, we've got some great teams in this league that are very well supported. And Orlando is amongst the best of them. Yeah,
without a shadow. Think about Major League Soccer when I'm trying to explain it to people who are trying to get it, and obviously the subject of designated players come up and things like that. How, in your opinion, how much does it need to change? Does it need to change? You might think this is fine as it is. Should the DP rule be relaxed, or should it be increased slightly? Do you think maybe to 5? And how does it do that and not lose what's fantastic about Major League Soccer? What I would like to see is the way the Premier League was for such a long time, where you just had a few clubs at the top who could afford it and everyone else. That's changed now, obviously, with the bigger the money that's coming. But how can MLS change slightly? Do you think it needs to, or perhaps you think it's perfect as it is?
No, I think it's been a journey, right? It's 21 seasons now, 21 years. And MLS has been on a journey for those 20 odd years. And it's grown up a lot, particularly I would say in the last 10 of those, you know, the last 50%. It's got to evolve. It has to evolve, and it has to keep evolving. The program, the single entity status of the league was the right thing to do, absolutely the right thing to do, to establish the league and to get it to where it is today. However, that has to evolve as well. You know, we've got to bring in more quality. We've got to develop the league. We've got to grow its awareness. We've got to grow media quality. There's a number of areas where the league has to get better if we're to realise our ambition of being one of the top 5 leagues in the world, which I personally think we can. But to do that, there's got to be evolution, you know. At the same time, I don't want to see, and I don't think the fans do, I don't want to see us lose the great thing about MLS, which is that you don't know on any given Saturday who's going to beat who. You don't know if Real Salt Lake's going to turn up and beat Columbus, or if Columbus are going to turn up and beat New York City. I mean, you go into those games, and I think that's what fans want, is belief at the beginning of the season that my team can win the title. Definitely. You know, we're good enough this year to do it. This could be our year. Right? Look at Leicester. Right? We've got the whole country at the moment, you know, probably if you're not Arsenal or Tottenham, but you've got the rest of the country essentially rooting for Leicester to win a championship, because we want to see that. We want to see that happen. And MLS has got that in spades. We've got to maintain that. We've got to keep that competitiveness, but at the same time, open a few things up, evolve so that we can move to the next level, but maintain that competitive balance.
Is it a case of increasing the DPs? Would you like to see that go to 5? Or is it the salary cap? Maybe is there a bit more flexibility there?
I would look at a little more flexibility.
If Don Garber said to you, Phil,
you
run it for a bit.
What
change? That's an easy question.
It is, isn't it? Flexibility in the salary cap. I think we've got to the system of bringing players in, and our salary cap, and our, if you like, our money management, shall we say, has got to be straightened out as well, because I think it's too complex today. You know, you've got to be an Oxford Don to understand how to manage the cap and allocation and time and everything else. That's got to be simplified, because the average fan wants to understand and know how the system works. And if you can't explain it, then what chance have they got? So we need to simplify that, which I think is doable. I think a little expansion in the salary cap itself. We don't need to go crazy with it, but I think if we can grow that, and then I think it's about quality in the middle of the roster. It's not so much about the DPs at the top end for me. It's about bringing in. You mentioned that. I know how much you follow the Castillos and the Akams and the players like that, the Christian Aguitas, the Carlos Rivases. It's that core of the roster that's got. I think we've got to move the quality up and get better in. And if we do that, we'll have a very, very competitive league.
Definitely. I mean, I think people are realising. I think people are starting to get into it now, are realising that It isn't about Steven Gerrard and people. That's great. Listen, that's great for a European market. Steven Gerrard, well known throughout the world, so it's great for a branding point of view. But it isn't a retirement league. It's far from a retirement league. You go, it's we should go over there when he's 35 or 36.
No,
he ain't gonna. He's gonna get found out. Drogba's, and I think he's the exception rather than the rule. He came in last year. He hit the ground running. 12 goals in 14 games, something like that. He may do it again this year. Montreal started well, obviously lost last night, but started well this season. But he is the exception rather than the rule. I think it's a younger league. Seeing Giovinco, who's 27, 28, marvellous.
Fantastic addition.
Marvellous. And if you can get that age of player mixed with the Castillos, And
I think we'll get to a tipping point, and it's not far away, Baz, where the Giovincos and the likes of a player like that will be the regular signings of the players that are coming in. When that happens, I think we've gone to a different level.
Yeah.
If we do that, so the big name players bring you status, they bring you awareness, but it's the Giovincos and it's the middle of the roster that if we get that right and we improve the quality, I think the whole thing moves up.
We've seen Carlos Vela making noises about wanting to come to MLS. He's at Real Sociedad. He's 26. For me, I think he'd be a fantastic pick-up for anybody. Really, really great left foot, good market ability as well. I'm nodding towards you, Phil. Carlos Vela, but he's another one, and that age, that's a great age. If you can get them in, it brings
Giovanni Dos Santos
over there at Galaxy. These are the type of players, and I think more and more will. We had a conversation, didn't we, about younger English players who were looking, get yourself over them.
And I said forever, and one that escapes people is Liam Ridgewell. Right? Liam Ridgewell
follows us on Twitter.
Right. Liam Ridgewell, for me, was a great signing by Portland because here's a guy who's probably bought back and forth between the Championship and the Premiership. Good defender, right kind of age, right kind of profile, comes in and really helps stabilise Portland's defence, makes a difference. That's the quality I think that we need to bring on up. And as we do that, the league's just going to get better and better.
Good defenders.
Good defenders
we can organise.
Yeah.
Big thing.
Big thing.
Video technology.
Yeah.
In Major League Soccer, because sometimes the referees are, I'll say it.
Let's do all the controversial points back, shall we?
Referees, I will say it, leave Phil out of this one. At times, they make the English referees look good, and I don't like English referees.
So, but by comparison, they are good. The English referees are good.
Yeah. So video technology, I'm very much for it. People, when I say I'm for it, people don't quite understand because they think the game will be stopped every 2 minutes and it'll take blah de blah. And the way I see it is, I watch a game. Take that Real Salt Lake, Orlando City first game season. Kyle Adam back here with that goal in.
Yeah.
I see a replay within 3 seconds. Yeah. He's onside. I see 2 within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
In a game, if there's a contentious decision, they surround the referee for a minute.
Yeah, they do.
So if it was fourth official said he was offside. Yeah. Players got nowhere to go. We heard this about the goal line technology. But what about this? No one even questions it now. No. You don't go, that was in. You go, it hasn't buzzed. It's not in. Yeah. So I think, this is me. I think this might be a bit wacky, right? But I think each coach should be allowed 3 challenges, like the tennis, in a game.
Yeah.
People are going, if you challenge him for every offside, you won't because you've only got 3. So if he's offside, you go, like the Kyle Adam one, Adrian Heath might have gone, that looked tight for me. We're going to challenge that. Yeah. And they look at it, 3, 4, 5 seconds, go, 1-0.
Yeah.
The play can continue and go out. You can say,
I agree.
It needs ironing, of course. I'm just throwing it out there. But do you think, are you for it or are you like, I'm happy with our referees referee it. I don't want to take that element out of it. I personally think it's getting very important. I think it's a multi-million-pound game.
It is. Yeah, it is.
You're leaving it to someone who might miss one thing. What do you think?
It's contentious, isn't it? Yeah. I'm with you. Actually, right. I'm totally with you. I'm in your camp, and I have been for several years now. And it's simply because, look, I love the traditions of the game, and it's funny. My son and I, we are different sides of this argument. We go back and forth on it all the time.
Yeah.
And his point is, it's just the way the game should be played. It's the history of the game. It's like we can't stop the game. The game's in constant flow. But I'm with you, which is like, oh, we're stopping the game anyway, because players are surrounding the referee, arguing with each other, pushing the referee. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, we've already stopped the game.
Yeah.
It's how do we stop it, and do we get a reasonable outcome from that stoppage? And I think, for me, I would begin by restricting it to a key few things, like potential goal opportunities, like the Kyle Lowry one's a great example.
Yeah.
And to be fair to the referee, it's a really tough decision.
Yeah.
Does Breck Shea get a touch on the ball or not? If Breck doesn't touch the ball, Kyle's onside.
Yeah.
If Breck's touched the ball, he's 3 yards offside.
Yeah.
It's very obvious.
It's very obvious.
But it's a difference between going 1-0 up in 5 minutes or 0-0. And as Adrian says, goals change games.
Of course.
They do. They change games. And if you're not allowed a goal which should stand, or you had a goal scored which shouldn't have stood, right? I think in today's game, you've got to have the opportunity to challenge that and to look at it. And you're right. We've looked at it. The league is going to start working with it. We're starting this year with an experiment in the USL with technology. The league as a group of owners, we want to bring the technology in, and I think you'll see that happen in MLS. And the reason we want to bring it in is exactly what you said. It takes, and we've had all the studies done. It takes about 3 to 5 seconds to figure out yes or no.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's pretty binary again. It's like, he was offside, he wasn't offside. Yeah. It was a penalty, it wasn't a penalty. Mm-hmm. It was a goal, it wasn't a goal. And you're not stopping the game. You're not going to take away, I don't think, from the essence of the game and the quality of the game in any way, shape or form. I think it's one of those things where once you've introduced it, Baz, in 2 years' time, people look back and go, what was all the fuss about?
What was the fuss about? Yeah.
You know, it's much better to know, yes, we scored a goal and we're 1-0 up and we kick off and we start again, than lose, a minute and a half while everybody argues with the referee. I'm with you.
Yeah, I think it only improves you. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't detract anything from it because you get a definitive decision.
Right. Let's break it down to simple things, right? The spray with the ball in the 10 yards. Is there anybody now who thought, we should take the spray away? It's like, no. It's like, because for years, how frustrated would you be as a fan? They aren't 10 yards away. They aren't 10 yards away.
It, yeah. You're looking,
come on, ref.
As a fan, you're looking to moan about anything, aren't you? Sure. You want every advantage. Now
it's like, shh.
Is that shaving foam in that can? That's what I want to know. Yeah, but some of it, you're right, you look at that, it's like I'm saying, going back to the goal line stuff, you've been screaming, ball, and, and even after the game, that was it was 3 yards over the line. Now, it happens, bang, bang, they carry on, you go, it wasn't in, obviously, because his thing doesn't push. And it's done. It's like, that's gone. Yeah. That doesn't happen anymore. That's right. So.
That's right. And I think the game is, we've got to recognise where the game is today and the money that's involved in the game. And not pandering to the money in any way, shape or form. But we've got to recognise that if goals change games, they make a difference. And games win you points and win you championships. And that creates what it creates in today's world of soccer. Then decisions like that, we need to get as right as we can.
You can look at, I can apply this to Everton this season. Yeah. Everton haven't been good this season. But we've had a couple of it. We had one against Stoke City at home. That was never a penalty in the last minute ever in a million years. Was given a penalty. Yeah. We had an incident down at Chelsea where it's the 98th minute of 96, by the way. But anyway, that's a different story. Yeah. John Terry's 2 yards offside. Then,
it was.
Then 3 points. Puts Everton 8th or 9th or something. And it's money. And that could be higher up the league.
It's not just the money. It's the fact now if you're 8th, you're looking at, can we finish the season strong and get a European slot?
Exactly.
It's a big difference.
And so for me, and listen, it's happened to every team, not just Everton. We had one at Man City. Man City should have had a penalty. Yeah. Raheem Sterling, Stones fouled him. It was a Stonewall penalty. We got away with that one. Yeah. So you'd have to swings and roundabouts, of course you do. But I just think if a referee or a fourth official's got the monitor there, bing, 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 within a couple of seconds, penalty
look at the difference it's made to cricket. It's. And I played cricket all my life growing up, and what a difficult sport to umpire. Yeah. If you were cool on the umpire, good grief. How hard was it? Did you get a touch on that?
Was it hard?
And soccer, different game, obviously, football, but those decisions, I'm amazed. I have a lot of time for referees, I have to say, because how they get those decisions right in split seconds. right, to me is amazing because you'll probably watch the game this afternoon, right? And there'll be some incident, and you'll watch it on slow motion replay 4 times, and they'll be like, "Well, did he touch it? Yeah." And then making that decision like that, why wouldn't you use technology to take 2 or 3 seconds to make sure you got that decision right if it's contentious?
Yeah, that's all. I mean, like I say, and people who don't want it to stop, you just literally limit the challenges. So you're careful with your challenge. You look and you go, right now.
Or even start by limiting it to the type of challenge you can make. Like,
why can't a fourth official look at a screen and just go to the referee, penalty?
Yeah,
not a penalty.
Yeah.
Why can't he help the referee out? Why is it he not allowed to speak to his fourth? Yeah. Sometimes he is, and other times he isn't. It's all of that grey area, which I think if you've got, like you just said, that the game's faster, it's getting faster. How can a referee make that decision? Players is Phil. MLS.
Yeah.
MLS in general.
Yeah. The MLS.
The MLS, yeah. Just to annoy Americans that don't like the word they put in front of it. It's for us, from this side of the pond and all that, this is a league that is growing.
Yeah.
We feel it's growing, and the interest is picking up in this country. I mean, just for instance, Sky Sports has actually got 4 Major League Soccer live matches this weekend. There's 3 on. This is the Sunday when we call it.
I watched the New York game over here Friday night.
Exactly, on the street.
Good coverage, by the way, as well.
It's getting better.
Yeah.
It was. They should have had me and Ped doing it. I'll be honest, they still should have me and Ped doing it.
But I think in USL this year, and new marketplaces coming in all the time. Cincinnati, you've got Louisville, you've got strong marketplaces. Yeah. That are, fans are turning up in their thousands to watch 2nd, 3rd division soccer, and loving it, by the way, and enjoying it, getting into the game. And you've been to a game, I know, and I've said this forever. If you take an English fan and you blindfold them and you drop them into our stadium on a game day, they wouldn't know whether they're in Italy or Argentina or Germany or England. They'd be in Orlando, Florida.
They know they're not in England because the
atmosphere. The sunshine.
Well, A, the sunshine, and B, I said it.
In the country, the game is not only here to stay, but it's doing very, very, very well. You've seen that with sponsors coming into the game. You've seen that with the broadcast deal we've done. I think you'll see big time with the next broadcast deal we're doing in 5-6 years' time. We've got the biggest sports marketplace in the world and the biggest sport. And that's a very, very dynamic and a very exciting combination when you put them together. So, yeah, I think the league's just going to go from strength to strength.
I mean, we've seen with Chattanooga in that, I think 19,000 or something like that. I've seen other
3rd, 4th division championship games.
Exactly, there's clubs popping up.
Look at the USL now. What is it? 29 teams years ago. I spent a lot of time going out speaking to people, making presentations, talking about the future of the game in the country.
Very unprofessional here. Just got some questions for you.
All right, okay.
Sorry, carry on.
So, we talk. I would spend a lot of time talking to people about the game and really selling them on the fact that football was a good game and come and follow it, come and take it again. That has so changed, Baz, that today the question now is like, how big can it be? Can it take over? Can it take the place of baseball? Can it be one of the big 4? Can it do this? Can it do? Yeah. How big's the TV? The next TV deal going to be? Yeah. So there's an acceptance, I think, within.
Well, it's getting better. It's getting better. So we can feel that there's definitely a growth. I think obviously it helps that Sky have lost a bit of their football to other channels, but that's fantastic because that means that we put more resources into it. Are you feeling it growing in the United States?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and not only in Orlando, but if you look at it across the league and across the country, the game is, it's not now a question of will the game take a foothold, will the game take off in America. The question now is how big will the game become. The question has changed. I mean, when I started the club 8 years